Hello, my name is Christina Whiteley, and I am so honored to be here speaking with the CEO of the mental wellness company I'm aligned with, Miss Asma Ishaq, because this is not the first time we've met. And I'm really excited for her to share with you why she's here. A few years ago, when I was looking for a new home in the network marketing space, I saw a lot of incredible, innovative things coming from the company that she was the CEO at. They were absolutely leading the space and changing many of the things that so many of us saw as problematic in the space. And I instantly knew I wanted to work alongside her. After speaking with her a few times, I knew that this is where I wanted to align myself and my brand so that I could help a lot more people. And I just want to give you a little background on her because it's really impressive what she's done over the years and what she's worked really hard to achieve. So not only does she have a background in product development, manufacturing, and distribution, she is also the Nutra Champion, earning the Lifetime Achievement Award for a product that she personally innovated. This is the third time that she has been a CEO of a health and wellness company in the network marketing industry because she truly believes in the industry and how we share products and help people. She has led a new generation of business in the network marketing space with constant innovation and leadership that is absolutely needed right now. She's been awarded the #1 woman-led company of the year. She has been awarded Entrepreneur of the Year. She has been named in the Forbes top 10 transformational CEOs in the healthcare space and created the most loved workplace 2 years in a row. And I can tell you that is the truth. We are so blessed that she has recently partnered with us here at Amare. And I had to make a really difficult decision about 6 months ago. One that was really challenging. And as much as I loved working with my team and the corporate team and the products at this previous company that we were both a part of, there were unintended consequences when we moved to Mexico. And the previous company we worked at was not available here. So I couldn't help people in my own community. And that's not why I got involved in this industry. This is something that is so imperative that we help raise the bar and help not only with people's health, but now their mental wellness and be able to help them, financially thrive in a time that's really difficult. So I had to make a heart-centered but business decision, one I made very carefully and did a lot of research to make a move to a company that I really believed in, one that I absolutely knew was needed in this world right now, and one that I truly believe has the ability to make a global impact. So I wanted to have a conversation with you so that I could share a little bit about your story, Asma, but more importantly, to share why you made the decision to partner with Amare. When I know you had many opportunities to start your own company, you had investors and many options because of what you've accomplished in this space, but because your actions speak so much louder than all the noise in this industry right now. And this woman is highly sought after. Okay, so I want to talk about why you decided to make the move and not start your own business, not have your own startup right now, but take the job instead here as a CEO and partner with Mr. David Chung. But also give us a little bit of insight into the current state of the industry and where we here at Amare are going. So without further ado, Miss Asma Ishaq.
Hi, Christina. Thank you. Hello to everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Christina. And I'm so excited to talk a little bit today about just a number of things, but I think most importantly, kind of why I'm here and how destiny kind of brought us back together again, too. So maybe I'll start with that and just, it's interesting. I think I am, I resigned from my previous company earlier this year, and I want everyone to understand kind of what I was thinking and then how this all happened and why I'm here at Amare now. And I don't believe in any coincidences, at all. And surely this was my next step was actually go start another company. And so that's what I was working on. That's what I was going to do. And I knew, and the reason why is because I've done it before, so I owned my own company. I was then acquired by a company that was much larger than mine, then became global CEO of that company for 7 years, led it to many exciting transformations that were really industry leading and category breaking and just record breaking on so many levels, and really made a name for ourselves in the space. And then, $2.5 billion of sales and the products that I personally developed over there too. Later, I knew it was time for my next big thing, so I think my life works in seven. So basically I owned my own company for 7 years, then CEO for 7. And then I was like, okay, what's my next big thing? I have another big, huge run in me. And this time I'm actually even wiser, and smarter. And I've been around the block now a few times, and I've learned so much. And so I thought, I'm going to start another brand. That's what I'm going to do. And the reason why is because I knew that if I could just apply everything that I had learned, and it would be incredible to do this again. And so, and then things kind of went down that path. I was offered many positions. I was offered CEO positions at many different companies. I think people knew that, it would be incredible. But I also am not the in this channel. I'm not a CEO in this channel. I've always been against the grain. I always wanted to change the industry. So I never felt like any brand really resonated with me. I didn't want to just become CEO of some X company, Y company, Z company. And I really wanted to stay authentic to who I was and be another. And then, I received a phone call from David Chung. He had sought me out, and it happened to be in New York, and he lives in New York. And so we met, and we could have talked for days. And instead it was, hours that we had, coincidentally, to be able to chat. And then, I came back actually because I was really intrigued by a few different things, and about sort of, I probably wouldn't have joined Amare if it was any time before that time. If anyone had asked me last year or anything like that, I definitely would have just said, no, I don't think this is the thing, that's going to really excite me. But after he bought the company, he actually just bought the company outright. And so anyways, after he did that, what he was doing and his vision was something I thought, this almost reminds me of when I came into my previous company, and all I needed was the structure, all I needed was what to transform, and being able to have that kind of control over a business. So then I came to the operational plans. I got to meet the board and everything else. And that's when things really changed for me. I had a choice of doing a startup and starting up my own company, or coming here. And the reason why I'm here are a number of different reasons. But the number one reason is that ownership is everything. Who owns the company is so important, because you have to be aligned with your long-term goals, with whatever that entity is, whether it's a group of people, whether it's a private equity company, whether it's a number of investors, whether it's a founder or whoever it is. You have to be absolutely aligned. You have to make sure that entity, whoever the owner is dedicated to the long-term vision and success of the business. Trust between ownership and the field and everyone else is paramount in this space, because nothing else matters. If the owner has a different idea of what they want to do with the business, then you have no control over your future at all. And so that was number one for me. That's why I wanted to start my own company. And the reason why is because I couldn't trust anyone but myself. I know the weight of your livelihoods on my shoulders when I go to sleep at night and when I wake up in the morning. And so I thought, well, I know I can trust myself with that kind of a responsibility. So maybe starting my own company again is really my next big move. The second reason why I'm here also is that the other thing that's really important for people to understand is that it's always about resources. It's about capital investment. It's about capital structure also. So if you have a company that has debt on the company, or other entities that own it, or anything like that, it's going to come down to whether or not the company can sustain the capital structure of the business, no matter what that looks like. And so that's the other reason why I'm here too, is that if all of the problems that come from a company, okay, I know this through and through for so many different reasons, but all of the different problems that come with a business from your perspective, like, why is this not working? Why isn't this site working? Why do we have stock outs? Like, what's happening with the inventory? All those things all come back to whether or not the company is adequately funded. Does it have the investments it needs, the long-term investments it needs, to build a company that really truly will last and can stand the volatile nature of the businesses that are often in our space. It was really also important that I had the right team as well. Number one, that I could build the right team, but then, who is the board, also you have to make sure you're dealing with true business people. Starting a company, for example, the role you play is really important in the success of the business. Not everyone from the field can actually run a business, right? And everyone who's running the business doesn't necessarily translate well into being great in the field either, right? I don't have field experience. I'm an operator. My background is in operations, and that's why David Chung and I get along so well. Because when I saw everything and I saw how vertically integrated the company was, his background in manufacturing and product development, and as an entrepreneur, it's like we were running parallel paths just on different coasts. He was doing it in the skincare industry, beauty and skincare industry, and I was doing it in the nutritional and skincare space for all of these decades that I've dedicated my career to. So he's a product person, product developer, entrepreneur, started brands, and is so successful as a business person. And that's my background too, is in business, and that operational know-how is critical. And most CEOs out there don't have an in-depth knowledge of everything from ingredient supply chain, manufacturing, and then also the know-how of things that make a difference in this space, innovation, on product development and product ideas. All of that was something that was really interesting to me, to see how we could partner up and create the best brand in the world, and create the kind of company that everybody wants to be at, and they get so much value out of it. A goal for any company in this space is to make sure that they create consumer value. And that means that with these products stand, and that's what I've been known for as well, with my previous run here, is if you took away the opportunity side of the business, would these products still sell for the same price and create that kind of consumer value? That's the true test of whether or not you're creating real value for consumers in this channel, and is it just hype and fear that drives the business? Is it just, signups and all of those kinds of things? Is it moving organizations and all of the kind of drama that happens? And so I just am so happy to be here, because I have everything that I have ever asked for, frankly. It was almost destined. It was like I was actually preparing for this moment all these years. And I think Amare was actually preparing for me to arrive at this moment, because this is the right time, because we have all of those things in place: the right ownership, the right capital, the adequate capital. We have the right products. The products are amazing here too. I get to innovate with an entire R&D team led by our Chief Science Officer, Dr. Sean Talbot, who I've known for 20-something years. It is amazing how everything is coming together for us. And not only that, but we're doing this for all the right reasons. We don't care to just grow really fast to crash later, or doing it for any of the inappropriate reasons that people often get into this channel. We're doing things right. We'll take our time to do it right with the right people who bring the quality that reflect the quality of the business that we're developing. So for us, it's, again, like David Chun's favorite thing to say, is it's all about these three words: reputation, reputation, reputation. He found me because he knew that I had a stellar reputation. I worked really hard at it. I didn't try. I had earned it by working as hard as I did. And that's what we're doing now is we're building a company to last and also with a reputation that will stand on its own. And I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful to be here with you, Christina. I'm so glad that the universe brought us back together. And I know. And so we're gonna go crush this. So
thank you so much for sharing your business perspective and your heart on this. There are a couple of things I actually want to point out. There are so many things that we go through in life and we have to fight our way through over these challenges. And really, it's who we become in the process, because all of these things lead us and prepare us for what's next and for our highest purpose. And that's what I hear you saying right now, is that you are here because it aligns with your values, your mission, the vision that you have and who you are, and also how you show up for the field. Because from the very moment I met you, I knew that you cared about the field. I knew that you cared about the people who represented the company, and your focus was to support them and their business growth. I also knew that you cared about this distribution channel and valued it like I do. And I'm a huge advocate of network marketing. I always have been. It is one of the best industries out there when it comes to equal opportunity. I know many, many, many people need it right now too, not just for the superior and innovative products that we can offer, but an opportunity for people to come in and create whatever they need when it comes to supplemental income. And boy, do we need that right now in this world and in this economy. Not to mention, this is how people are looking for products these days. They are asking their friends and family for product recommendations as opposed to searching on Google. They're seeking solutions on social media and asking for referrals so that they can make the best choice for them when it comes to the products that they want to use. And that information usually comes from people that they trust and people that they know and love. And so I've got to take a minute to be honest right now, okay? When I started with Modere many years ago, I came into that company because I trusted the leadership and the intelligence of the corporate team, but I didn't realize that there was a venture capitalist company that owned it. I didn't do my due diligence and look into it, or at least as well as I should have. And so each time we have these experiences in life, we learn and we spend a little bit more time doing our due diligence to understand what we're truly getting into and the mission behind the company. And so when I saw that David Chung had acquired this company and saw the other companies that he has very successfully created and the capital that he brought as a sole owner, now knowing his mission and that this is his legacy company, I could not be more thrilled to be a partner here at Amare. And in a world where it's not just a few $1 million that is needed to create a viable company that can actually sustain long-term growth, it's billions of dollars, especially right now. So when you find a company that is willing to do what's necessary to lead the marketplace and become known globally as the mental wellness company, right? And the fact that we have the funding to do it is so rare, and the funding to do it right. The funding to do it with integrity and with high expectations, not settling for anything less. Because most businesses, big or small, will close in the first 5 to 10 years because they don't have the capital to sustain the adversity and the challenges that they face in this diverse and ever-changing marketplace. Then they don't have enough to pull through, right? They don't have enough to expand into different marketplaces, which is something we talked about actually last week, Asma, because Amare is expanding globally very, very quickly this year because they acquired another company a few years back and already had international manufacturing and distribution channels available to us. And so I would love for you to talk a little bit about the sustainability of the company, because I know in the industry, it's a little bit shaky right now. Some are uncertain about their future, and I want them to understand why this is a safe place for them to land. There are companies that are moving to an affiliate model after years of brand partners building organizations and teams. So they end up losing their paychecks overnight. And with full transparency, that's happening in every industry right now. And it's what's happening in a contract. It's exactly what happens in a contracting marketplace and a contracting economy. So companies will close their doors or restructure and many people do lose their jobs when they thought they actually had stability. And there are always risks in what you do. However, you have to hedge your bets and make decisions that are educated and factual instead of chasing the next trend that may or may not explode, right? Or it might even be really short-lived. And to put all that energy into a place that you don't have a vision for the future or a plan for the future can be really compromising to the success that you have there. You've really got to understand business and what's going on in the economy, not only that, but socioeconomically and what's going on globally. And so big picture, I think we can all agree that mental wellness is at the forefront of everyone's mind right now, especially after COVID. And now people are realizing that, and it's becoming mainstream, that your gut health is a key factor in your mental wellness, and that we can do things that are preventative as well as holistically to get ourselves back on track. So we know there is a definite need for these products, not only for ourselves as adults, but for our kids. And again, it's a need versus a want, because when people have less disposable income and they are a lot more picky about where they're spending their money, right? And so 1 in 4 people, that's the statistic, that suffer with mental health issues, most of the time without support and in silence, and they just talk amongst their friends, right? They complain amongst their friends, which again brings it back to why we distribute the products this way. And now we're like taking these conversations to the next level, and we're taking the stigma out of the mental wellness conversation, because nobody really wanted to talk about it before, and giving others a solution, not just a solution, but an education on what they can do to improve their mental wellness. And, you know, I look at the team that you've acquired and that's being built globally, and I look at how quickly this is happening as well. So can you please speak to why it is so important that we have the channels in which we can grow sustainably and grow quickly because of the need for these products around the world right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 things that you raised. The first 2 are actually kind of one and the same about the reasons why, you know, this is such an incredible, I've never seen anything like it. When you have a startup, and by the way, I was offered millions and millions of dollars by people inside and outside of the industry who knew that I might be starting my own thing, and they wanted to back the company that I would start next. And I thought to myself, here's the question that really I had to answer, is that this time around, you know, the first time I started my own company 16 years ago was all organic, right? I had the whole single mom story. I borrowed very little money to start that business, and I self-funded it, and I grew it 1 person at a time. Nobody knew who I was. No, I didn't know anyone in this space either. And this time around, though, because of that reputation, you know, that our company built, that I built, that this time around, there would be tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people who would know what I was doing or who I was going. So now you have lots and lots of people joining. But what that means is that in the nature of this kind of a business is exponential. And that's what makes it such a great industry, a powerful and efficient model. But what you have to be prepared for as a startup is to always have adequate funding to sustain that growth. So you're always going to be raising capital, because even if you had $50 million to start a company, you would always have to be catching up to making sure that you had enough stock, making sure that you had innovation, R&D pipeline of new products. All of those kinds of things all take resources, making sure you have the right team in place, all of those things. And it's always running out when you grow. I didn't want, and I know what it's like because I was there, you know, when you start off in the US and then someone's like, oh, I have a leader in Mexico, but you're not open Mexico, or you're, you know, I want to do this, but you're not in Canada. Or I could bring on this whole team, but you're not in Singapore. And so, you know, and so you're constantly with this pressure of growing. Number one, making sure that you're always in stock, okay, with product as you're growing. And that takes making sure that you have adequate capital. That's one of the things that David Chung fixed immediately at this company, that we would never be out of stock of any of our top selling products. And that's the rule. That's the one rule that our chief operating officer has, is make sure. That's the one thing you have to do, is just make sure that we're always keeping up with the growth. The second part is that you need capital to be able to grow internationally, as a global organization. And also, there's also different skill sets that it takes to start a company, right? One is that having run a huge company does not make you good at a startup. It's totally different skill set. So when I'm hiring someone, I look at what their experience has been and whether or not they're really going to fit in that role, whether they can get into the weeds of things, whether they can work in depth. And it's a different kind of a skill set when you're also trying to raise capital and trying to keep up with that kind of growth. The other thing is that if you don't have control over your vertical integration, your supply chain, you can run into a lot of problems in this space. One of the reasons I was really successful with my first company that I founded was because that was my background. I came from the ingredient supply. I came from the manufacturing. That was in my backyard. It was, everything was being done right there, and that's why I had such leverage. When Dave Jung bought this company and he realized that everything was being outsourced, he because he has the capital and because he has that vision and because he comes from the supply side of the business of his industry as well, built a manufacturing plant within 3 months, brought in the manufacturing within months. I've never seen anything like it. So when I saw that, I thought, okay, this is fantastic, because it's exactly so in line with my vision of what I would want to do. And also, we're not just vertically integrated in the manufacturing part of it, but all of the companies, he owns like 10 companies, they all work to support Amare. We have an IT, he owns an IT company. That IT company is our resource to be able to come out with all of the technology that I've always wanted to come out with but couldn't. Having that as your sister company is a dream come true. Having a vertical when it comes to even the ingredient, we're actually buying up our ingredient supply chains. We're moving to own those farms even. We have this whole vision of what we want to do with the ingredients. Then we have creative agencies and marketing companies and real estate and construction and things like that. And those companies will all work together to support one thing, which is all of you. All of you in the field deserve to have the very basic fundamentals of your needs being met, because our vision is to grow to be so many more times, bigger than what we are even now. Who we are today is not who we are of the future. So even when I was, moving forward with Amare, and I could only tell a couple of my family members really about what, this thing, because it was just so confidential. But, what I asked them to do was when you look up who we are, I don't want that to be the perception of who we are, because what we're creating is totally unseen right now. What we are creating for the future is not even available for you to even view right now. And so this reminds me so much of that whole ground floor opportunity, but without all the risks, because we own our manufacturing, we make everything, we are doing all those things. We have access to the technology, the real estate, everything that we need to do. We're building out our plant by adding, and we're actually even going to start up we have plans to start up our own fulfillment with completely robotic, the experts coming in to doing everything so that we can make sure that the customer experience is perfect. And then you said one more thing, which, the other thing I had to ask myself was, okay, does the company's vision align with everything that I believe in? We're not a mental illness company, by the way. Okay, we are a mental wellness company. Our company is about taking control over your well-being. And if this has been a very, very, a year for me with lots and lots of change and everything. And I decided to do one thing, that I would put myself first. I would put my health and wellness above anything else. And when I do that, I actually you feel like you're much more in control of everything else that happens around you. And I just knew this mental, actually years ago, I developed a product based on the gut-brain axis, and that microbiome health, because I knew that everything in the future of nutrition would be about the microbiome health and science. And so owning the mental wellness space is our vision. We want to be synonymous. We want to be known as the mental wellness company. And what falls under that category is everything about well-being. We have not only a gut brain axis, but we have a gut skin axis, we have a gut heart axis. All of this means that under this umbrella of well-being, we have plans to come out with so many different categories of products. I mean, that's the path. That's the unseen stuff that we're working on behind the scenes and creating this empire that will, take us to building an incredible reputation in the space.
Oh my goodness. Well, in a world where this generation is the most unfulfilled, unhappy, and is lacking purpose because their well-being is at an all-time low, we have these incredible products that can not only improve their mental wellness, but their confidence and motivation. And I know that people who have those two things will go out there and do more in this world. So we've really truly positioned ourselves with a solution to what a lot of people are lacking, and quite frankly, what they are looking for in their lives. I mean, I know after a few short weeks, I felt the weight of the world leave my body, and my productivity went through the roof, and I was finally able to focus on solutions instead of drowning in anxiety over, the problems that we face. And in this world, we have to start putting ourselves first so that we can go out there and make a mark. And what I hear you saying is that there are a lot of companies out there that are chasing trending products, making old concepts new to market, things that might be a little flashy or gimmicky or all the hype like it's never been seen before. Right? But what we are doing here is innovating not only products, but with our systems and technology, we're truly building a business for the future. And what I see is not only do we have a stellar leadership team with you and David Chung and our corporate team that are on the same aligned mission, but in comparison with a lot of these other companies that don't have control over their supply chain, their ingredients, their distribution, manufacturing, and they have to outsource a lot of what we're able to do in-house, I understand how rare that is. And it's also so powerful that we are in complete control of the business. And so on top of that, we have the technology and the AI to innovate very quickly new ways of doing business, and all of the companies that David Chung owns are aligned with that. So it's no surprise that we're going to come out in front of everybody else, and we are dominating that space right now. And the important piece of it is that we actually have the funding to back it up. Right? A lot of companies have great ideas and put them out in the world, but they don't have the funding to sustain the adversity, right? And the economy. So we have all of that. And when I see a company that is also committed to truly making a difference in this world, that speaks to my heart. And you guys can back up the words that you speak with aligned actions. You're making it happen and you're proving it out faster than anybody would ever expect. I mean, isn't that what we all need right now? Some sense of purpose to motivate us and get out of bed in the morning and stand for something far greater than ourselves, right? To do more, to become more. And now you've got an environment where you can help others to do the same. And to me, that is one of the most beautiful things that we can offer people here, our community, the support and the resources and the reputation to back us up, and we'll continue to hone our skills and innovate. And so, Asma, I know you are a very busy woman scheduled to be here with me today, and I thank you so much for that. Truly, you are so amazing, and it never ceases to amaze me how you show up as a leader and as someone who is always fighting on our side for what is necessary to win and evolve in the network marketing space. We all know that this space is constantly evolving, and we tend to be ahead of the trends on that. And being the person that sets the pace, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that I also had the time to share with you here your experience. And I know that you have many people after your expertise and countless job offers and loads, millions and millions of dollars in investment money. So I am so grateful that you made the decision to leave your mark and make an impact here with us at Amare. It was that serendipitous moment when they announced you as CEO, and I got a call from one of the top leaders saying, "Guess who's here?" And I was just, my mind was blown. I was so excited. And I breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that I had made the right decision to align myself here. I don't think that anything happens by accident. I think that there's divine intervention, and I believe that that's why you're here, for a bigger purpose and a bigger mission. And I'm so happy we're reconnected, and I want to thank you for everything that you do, including spending some time with me today. It means so much to me, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Thank you so much. All of you are at the heart of every reason why I said yes here. So thank you so much, Christina.